I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're like, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years, and like I was so used to being a wife. Like I loved being married, you know? Like I love being a wife. I love having like that one person I love coming home to and like venting all my to. And now it's like, yeah, you date people and like sparks fly, and then it's just like, oh, I found better.
She believed a fresh start would lead to a better life, so she chose to leave a long-term relationship behind. At first everything felt exciting, but that feeling did not last. As time passed, she realized that lasting commitment was far more valuable than temporary attention. Sometimes the true value of what we have is only understood after it is gone.
Was talking to my ex again, and there was a TikTok, there was a I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower that messaged me, and she said, "Hey, I started talking to this guy, and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels, like you guys made a TikTok together." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my boyfriend," because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, "Oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single." And I'm like, I'm not even crying about that. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that, like, it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. And part of it has to do with me too, because of my insecurities, but honestly 99% of the time it's because they're cheating, you know, because it's so accessible. Social media, talking to other women. Why do I still have my seatbelt on?
No one expected this turnaround. Instead of staying trapped in the past, he focused on rebuilding his life and moving forward. By the time she looked back, he had already found a better path and closed that chapter for good. Sometimes the greatest comeback is becoming someone who no longer looks back.
You know, everybody's heard all these crazy dating stories, and I haven't been on a date since I was with the last guy. And I'm like seriously considering never dating again. I see all these horror stories. Um, it's the guys that, you know, like me are not the kind of guys I like. Just so much to it. And especially being in my 50s and not being skinny, it just is such a challenge that I don't even know if I want to bother anymore. You know, I just don't know if I should just grow old by myself. I'm already old, but you know, older. Sorry about my hair. But I don't know. I mean, what is your opinion on this dating situation? I don't find anybody that's really been happy or successful.
She is still searching for the perfect match while overlooking the qualities that often matter most. As time passes, loyalty, trust, and shared values become far more important than chasing an ideal image. The strongest relationships are usually built on genuine connection rather than perfection.
I'm a single mother, and a lot of people write to me on here or in the comments or even in the wild, and they will say that women, especially of my age, are still single because we have unreasonably high standards. And I don't think it's unreasonable, but I do think and know that our standards are quite high because we've been through enough to know what we want and what we don't want. However, speaking for myself and probably a lot of other people out there, maybe men and women, I'm done trying. I don't want to.
She is looking for someone who checks every box, but real relationships rarely follow a perfect checklist. Lasting partnerships are built on trust, shared values, and mutual understanding. Sometimes chasing perfection makes it easier to overlook a genuine connection.
Had a first date this week with a guy who, same age as me. So we go out and we're sitting there. Everything seems to be going well. And then he proceeds to tell me that I am the oldest woman he's ever been on a date with. Wow. So what's the oldest woman you've ever been on a date with? 31, he says. 31. Okay. So you're telling me that a mature woman doesn't think you're a good catch. It must be a really hard thing for you to admit to me, and I'm so glad you did. I really want you to know I appreciate your honesty. I don't think I'm going to hear from him again at all, and I'm okay.
Sometimes the biggest challenge in dating is accepting that everyone has a past. Strong relationships grow by focusing on the present instead of looking back. Real confidence comes from building trust with the person in front of you. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more relationship discussions. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.